kind of installing the offense, getting the players caught up. Working with the coaching staff has been awesome. We got great offensive coaches. They've done a really good job preparing the kids for all of our installs. And the kids are going out and having a lot of success. So we're just looking forward to kind of building on each day, just kind of adding to the installs as we kind of go through the offensive installs, and just looking forward to taking the next step.
Your hashtag, what does it mean to you?
Well, the hashtag can mean a number of different things. One, obviously, the speed and space is obviously trying to put the defense in conflict. And when we talk about speed and space, that's just not only, skill guys or getting our athletes out in space, that's also getting our running backs out, trying to create, open holes and putting conflicts on defense from a run-pass conflict standpoint, being able to have the pin last. One of the things we talk about on offense is having to dictate the aggressiveness of the defense. And so we feel like if we can stay aggressive on offense, we can limit how aggressive defense is going to be. And so, the whole speed and space deal is kind of something that we preach it, with all of our skill guys and the concepts that we really emphasize. But ultimately, it can be run pass oriented, and obviously moving guys around, getting our best skill players out there and getting them active and part of the offense.
Harbaugh said that you've already got the players in place right now to run that, which isn't necessarily usual when you're kind of changing kind of some schematic things. Why is that possible here with the players you already have, and who kind of embodies that speed and space type idea?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a certain style of player. It's really the schematic things that we're able to do on offense, being able to put the defense in conflict from a number of different ways. We're having first-level reads, second-level read, third-level reads. So being active from that standpoint, especially in the quarterback read, run game, RPO game, whatever, we need to do to be aggressive to create numbers and angles for our offensive linemen so they're blocking clean blocks and creates open space and gets our athletes out in space. But we do, when you look at the number of athletes we have on offense, I think we're very versatile. We have, a lot of depth at tight end. We have, we need to get a little bit more depth at receiver. But we got to continue to get those skill guys better. We're not just patting ourselves on the back. We're not ready yet. We still have a long way to go in every, area that we need to improve. But, we've got the skill. We've got the guys all around it. And one of the things that we really have is an offensive line to really drive our offense. I would say that's the strength of our offense right now. And so, those guys have been practicing great over the first 3 days. We also have good, talented quarterbacks. So, overall, we feel really good about the depth we have on offense.
What brought you to Michigan?
Just my familiarity, within the Big Ten, spending 4 years at Penn State, battling against Michigan. Unfortunately, I was on the losing end for, a couple of those games. But my appreciation for this university, what it stands for academically, Coach Harbaugh and, what he's built with this program and, the success that they've had. I mean, very few times are you able to go into a program and take over as an offensive coordinator of a winning program. And, you're going in not trying to figure out what went wrong, but how you can make it better. So that was something that was very intriguing for me when this opportunity came open. And it was a no-brainer for me. And I've been really, really happy here. I've been really excited. We've got a great staff, and I couldn't be more fortunate to be here.
I'm sure you've watched a lot of tape from last year. What is your takeaways from what they were able to do last year?
Yeah, that's been one of the things for us. Coming in with this offense, a lot of people are asking about, what about your offense? This is not my offense, this is Michigan's offense. And so there are things that, we're doing a lot differently. But, I would be foolish to come in as the offensive coordinator and not keep some of the things that we've done great, over the past. And so it's really been a mix, of things that I've done in my past, but keeping some of the best things that we've done here in the past. And so, it's been really good for me to come in and watch a lot of the tape, see what's worked, well in our run game, because that's something that's worked extremely well for us. And so being able to add other elements onto our base foundation has been something that's led to, what we feel like creating our system, which has been really successful, and being able to put our kids in the best position to be successful.
Playing with tempo, what's the biggest adjustment for the guys here?
We're a no-huddle team. When people ask who we are from an offensive standpoint, we're a pro spread, and that's what I like to tell people. We run from a spread mechanics. We're no huddle. We don't huddle ever. But we still have a big pro-style emphasis, and one of the things with speed and space is, we're still going to have a mindset that we're an attacking offense, but also we're in a physical offense. We're just not going to go out there and dink and dunk the ball around, throwing bubble screens and all that. We're aggressive. We're going to be sound and fundamentally sound in our run game. We're going to be aggressive in taking our shots. We're going to be aggressive in trying to put conflict on the defense. And so, for us, that's the biggest focal point for us is understanding that, we're still going to dictate the style of play, and we're going to finish with an aggressive mentality.
What does your quarterback's room give you, and how much does it help to have a guy like Shea kind of leading that charge?
It does. Shay's been really doing a really good job. Understanding the installs, and really, when you look at the overall quarterback room, you look at the depth and the talent that we've got in that quarterback room. A lot of guys have played a lot of football, so that's so valuable. Coming into a transition. Now it's just about catching those guys up within the offense, and so all the terminology is different. Those guys have had to learn it, and so they're learning everything. And Shay's doing a really good job. There's some things that are completely different that's been done in the past, and he's done a really good job learning those concepts through the first 3 days, as well as Dylan, as well as Joe. I really like him. Cade's been a quite pleasant surprise. As a freshman, he's coming. He's very mature. And Coach McDaniels does a really good job coaching the quarterbacks, preparing those guys for our meetings. So I really feel good about our quarterback room and the depth that we have. We have a number of guys that can make plays for us, and we have a number of guys who will make plays for us.
What's it been like working with Jim so far?
It's been awesome. He's been so open. He's given me the freedom to run the offense. He's given me, every input. It's been really awesome. I'll tell you, when I first got the job, the first 2 weeks out on the road recruiting, they gave me the rookie treatment. They put me on the road with them. So we traveled across the country, and that was really valuable. That really developed our relationship. I mean, we were going out to eat every night. It was just, two guys in a rental car flying across the country, just going to see recruits. And so, that time, we were sitting back laughing in the car, joking. It really enabled us to really kind of develop a friendship and really get a chance to know who we are from a personality standpoint. But he's been awesome as a head coach. It's been truly amazing to be in this opportunity and have the support that he's given me and he's given our offense. So I couldn't be more thankful for him.
Who drove?
I did. Although he will try to drive, and I tried to fight it. Actually, there was one time there was a snowstorm, and he wanted to drive, and I felt awkward. But that's who Coach is. He's very humble. He's down to earth. He doesn't wear some kind of hat that says I'm the head coach. He's not in a position. He's going to do whatever he's going to ask you to do. So he's never too big for any small thing, and that was unique. We actually battled on the road of who would pay a lot of times for meals, and so we got to laugh over that for a couple of days. Battling back and forth over meals.
Well, he did say he gave you the keys.
He did. He literally gave me the keys to the car.
I'm sorry. You've not called plays, right?
Not actually for a whole game. Obviously, in my past, I've served in a number of different roles from passing game coordinators to co-coordinators to assistant special teams coordinators. I've been fortunate enough to make a lot of suggestions and calls during games that have worked out, and not necessarily a whole game. But, I have no concern. The games are won Monday through Friday in your preparation with your game plan and putting your kids in the best position to be successful. And so, we feel within our system, that's our strength, is putting our kids in position to be successful. And that's something, you look at the track record of offenses that I've been around. I have no concern at all. Like I said, it starts in your preparation. There's guys that have called plays for 30 years, but if you don't do what it takes to put your kids in position to be successful Monday through Friday, they're not going to be successful on Saturdays. So we've got a great offensive staff, number of talented coaches with a lot of great backgrounds. We've been able to mesh together as an offensive staff, and I truly believe we have the best offensive staff in America. I don't say that just being the offense coordinator here and being biased, but I've sat in a lot of rooms, and the detail and technique that we talk in our offensive staff room has just been phenomenal. We're all on the same page, and when we're all on the same page, that chemistry runs down to the players, putting them in the best position to be successful.
When you first called you about the job, what was the discussion like? What was the selling point to you to come in?
I got notified early that morning when we had good discussions. Coach moved aggressively. It was kind of something that, that came out of left field. He previously tried to hire me a few years back. We had some smaller conversations. At the time, I wasn't looking to leave where I was previously at. But then he heard I had possibilities and opportunities to leave this time. And so when he called, it was just a no-brainer for me. I didn't really acquire too much about, what the situation was going to be, or anything, as far as returning players. This was an opportunity I truly believed in, and like I said, it goes back, to my familiarity in this conference. When you go against Michigan for 4 years, you develop an appreciation. This was always the school that, presented a threat to, when I was at a previous institution, and one that we struggled with. And You know, even at my time at Western Michigan, you know, being in the States. So it was a no-brainer. You know, there wasn't a lot of conversation that needed to be had. You know, Coach, you know, he explained what he was looking for. He told me that I would be in full control of the offense. And, you know, it was something I was truly excited about. And, you know, at the end of the conversation, I told him, you're going to get my all. And that's all I'm going to promise him. And that's all this offense is going to get. You know, it's my all to put these guys in the best position to be successful.
You have kind of a unique perspective when it comes to Don Brown. You've, you know, coached against him directly, and now you're, you know, going up against him in practice. What is he like what is that entire experience like for you? It's
been awesome. You know, I look at it as a positive. You know, I've been fortunate enough to go against Coach Brown now for 5 years. And so, you know, the amount of install that they have on defense and preparing our guys offensively to block those looks, if we can be successful in practice against our defense, we will be successful against any defense, because our defense has shown that they produce at a very high level. And so, to me, it's always an ultimate challenge. You know, it's relying on our foundation of rules and the foundation of our offense, preparing our kids throughout practice to put them in the best position to be successful. And so, you know, now we're able to pose a different threat on our defense from a number of different ways. So it's been really good back and forth. You know, I know Don has mentioned it, you know, the things that they're able to present to us, the things we're able to present to them, it really works well in meshing as an overall team, because they're preparing differently for us and we're preparing differently for them.
Have you been able to dictate?
Yeah, there's some things that we're able to dictate. You know, it's we haven't gone against each other much in practice right now. It's kind of split, but you know, our defense presents a lot of challenges. You know, and you know, one of the things through those challenges is staying true to our rules and foundation. And so it's been really good. You know, iron sharpens iron, and so, you know, just the competition level, the returning players that they have on defense, the returning guys that we have on offense. Obviously, our guys are learning a new scheme right now, so they're focusing on the plays. But as we keep increasing, you know, the installs, the plays are going to start to come, the foundation is going to come. One thing that I'm really impressed with is how fast they've picked up the tempo of things, just being from a no-huddle operation to a huddle operation. And so, you know, when you look at practice, our operations is phenomenal. It's crisp. There's not a ton of mistakes, and that's the thing that we're really excited about. So today was our first day really going at it, and we really kind of, you know, competed with each other offensively and defensively, and it was a really good practice.
Which of the playbook do you hope to have installed by the end of the spring?
You know, we'll have the majority of the playbook. We'll have the whole playbook installed, and then obviously, you know, once we create a big menu, or once we have a big library of things, then we start focusing our menu down as we get to the fall as far as game planning. You know, there's different things that we'll have in every week as far as in our game plan, and that's the thing I'm just really excited about. It's just the things, the element to the game of football that we're able to bring differently now. You know, I think you know, a lot of things that we're going to be able to present are going to be, you know, they're going to look differently as far as scheme-wise, but when you get down to the roots of the foundation, you know, the blocking schemes are the blocking schemes, the pass schemes are the pass schemes. So you got to keep emphasizing the fundamentals, the details, the techniques in order to be successful.
You obviously coach receivers. What do you think of DPJ and Tariq and Nico? And you mentioned depth. I mean, you've got numbers, right, at the position, or are you talking more experience in terms of?
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, we've got a couple guys out, so we don't have quite the depth that we have right now. But, you know, we just got to keep working. We're not where we need to be right now for our skill guys at that position at receiver. It's no negative, but we just got to keep progressing. We got to keep working. We got to keep getting better. It will help once we get our depth back. But right now, we're down a few guys this spring. Nothing, you know, long-term that are going to be, you know, issues in the fall. Just some preventative stuff that we're keeping a couple guys out right now. But, you know, overall, you know, the message that I've given to that group is just we just got to keep progressing. You know, and if we can keep progressing, you know, I truly believe in what we're teaching those guys and putting those guys in position to be successful. I have no worries that we'll get where we need to get by the time fall comes and be the group that we need to be.
Jim mentioned, I think, Peoples-Jones and Nico had some minor things.
Yeah, we're holding those guys out right now, and so it's fine. You know, it's giving some other guys some opportunity to step up. You know, we don't have a ton of scholarship guys right now in the spring, and so, you know, we've got about 3 or 4 guys that'll be here in the fall from the freshman class, and so right now we're just trying to, you know, fill out that 2 deep that we've got, but we're using multiple personnel to do it, and that's the unique thing about our offense. We can be in 3 wide receiver sets, we can be in 4 wide receiver sets, we can be in, you know, 3 wide receivers with 2 running backs, we can be in 2 tight end, 2 wide receivers, and so you know, we're a multiple personnel, we're a multiple formation team, we're personnel driven, and so we're going to find the ways to get the best players that we have on the field, and that's the goal and the key.
Based on film, though, what do you think of people's shown?
Based on film, you know, those guys, you know, I think Nico's a guy that's very underrated as far as, you know, people's view of him. I think Nico had a really good year. Obviously, there's things those guys can get better from. Same with Donovan. Those guys, you know, they made a ton of plays last year. You know, it's our goal moving forward to consistently keep making those plays. And so there's areas that they've shown. Obviously, their experience making plays in big-time games have led them to have some success, but we're looking to build on that. We're not looking to rest on last year. We're not looking to have the same kind of production of last year. We're always looking to increase that production. And so, you know, I coach those guys very hard. I'm all over those guys. But, you know, not to say it from a standpoint, my track record with that group, it's something that when I came here, Coach asked me, you know, what position group did I want to coach? And most coordinators say they want to coach quarterbacks, and Coach gave me that opportunity. But my background and my development with that position was something that was too important to me that I wanted to continue coaching receivers. And Coach McDaniels, it just worked out fortunate here because Coach McDaniels' background, not only in receivers but as quarterbacks, allowed us to be able to make that transition. So it's been phenomenal, you know, because he's really a quarterbacks guy. He's really a really good quarterbacks coach, very detailed and fundamentally sound. And so it allows us to all play to our strengths and not just be the coordinator and oversee a position because I want to, but because I feel like that's the biggest impact I'll be able to make.
Got time for